Long ago, in a vast and green land, the simple and joyful lives of people flowed. Laughter echoed in the marketplace, and hearts were full of satisfaction and happiness. But joy did not last forever. Little by little, a shadow of sorrow fell upon the faces of the people. Despair and weariness settled in their eyes. In the heart of the city, enormous statues rose, lifeless and heavy idols, yet with a grandeur that brought ignorant hearts to their knees. And soon, disputes and enmity flared among them. The marketplace turned into a field of quarrels and shouts. In those days, a man chosen by God arose, a steadfast and kind man with eyes full of firmness. His name was Noah. Noah went among them, stood upon a wooden platform, and with a calm and steady voice said, "O people, return to your Lord. Only He is your creator. Abandon these lifeless stones, for they bring you no benefit." But the people did not listen. Some laughed and mocked the prophet of God. A wealthy man wearing a robe of silk stepped forward and with mockery said, "O Noah, you are nothing but a man like us. What superiority do you have to speak such words?" A young woman amidst the laughter sneered and said, "The old age of this man has made him speak nonsense." Even the children, like the adults, mocked Noah and called him mad. Yet Noah did not grow weary. For 950 years, he guided the people toward God. In spring and autumn, in winter and summer, he stood firm and repeated his message, saying, "I am commanded, and I remain steadfast." At night, when the people slept, he would retreat to a green cave. There, he whispered in devotion to his Lord. Tears ran down his cheeks, and his heart found peace. "My Lord, and guide my people, for they do not listen to my words, and they do not know." But betrayal had entered even his household. His wife became attached to the idols, and in secret bowed before them. His son, a hot-tempered and rebellious youth, mocked his father in the streets with his friends. One night, when Noah's son came home in a foul and ugly state, Noah kindly advised him, saying, "My son, this path will lead you nowhere. Come back to the truth." But the son, with anger, replied, "You have brought shame upon us. Everyone calls you mad." One night, in that same green cave, as Noah was in prostration, a light shone, and an angel appeared. He said, "O Noah, none except those who have already believed will accept the truth. This is the command of God. Build a great ark, for a mighty flood is on its way." With tearful eyes, Noah asked, "My Lord, is this the end of my people?" And the angel replied, "This is the promise of God, and His promise is true." The next morning, Noah took an axe in hand and went to the forest. Each strike upon the tree trunks was the sound of the fulfillment of God's promise. Some of the people who heard the news gathered in the forest. A man mocked him, saying, "O Noah, are you well? Do you wish to build a ship in the desert?" Another woman sneered, "Leave him. The sun has burned his mind." The news reached his son. In rage, he ran toward the forest. When he reached his father, he shouted in fury, "Stop this useless work. You have brought shame upon us. Madman!" But Noah stretched his hand toward him and said, "My son, this is the path of salvation. Come toward the believers." But Noah's son did not listen and walked away. Time passed, and the great ark rose upon the green plain. The carved wood joined together, and a colossal body of salvation stood against the sky. Gabriel had brought the complete design of a flawless ship for Noah to build. One morning came when the signs appeared. In the city, as people saw that the waters of the wells had turned to blood, the animals in their pens grew restless. Their eyes filled with fear. The sky grew dark and heavy, as if angered at the earth. Noah stood upon a rock and cried out, "O people, hasten to the ark. This is your only path to salvation." The believers went toward the ark. Animals in pairs was calmly, and by God's command, stepped onto the deck. The earth trembled and destroyed everything. Gushing springs burst from the ground, shooting into the sky. A torrential rain poured down, and the streets turned into raging rivers. The people ran in terror, Noah's son among them fled in fear. When Noah saw him, he cried out, "My son, come to us. This is your only path to salvation." But Noah's son, standing upon the plain, amidst the foaming waters, shouted, "I will take refuge on a mountain. It will save me." But gradually the entire city and mountains went under water, and a mighty wave came, carrying Noah's son away into the depths of the sea. Noah stood on the ark, raindrops falling on his face, sorrow heavy in his eyes. Yet the ark rose and fell upon the raging waves. The believers bowed in prostration on the deck, and the animals grew calm, for they knew they were under God's protection. Days passed. Noah raised his hands to the sky and prayed, "My Lord, send us mercy upon these waves." He released a white dove, and it returned with a green olive branch in its beak, a sign that the earth had found peace again. The ark rested upon the slopes of Mount Judy. The sky cleared, and a vast rainbow stretched across the horizon, a sign of God's covenant with his servants. An angel appeared once more, with white wings, giving Noah glad tidings. This is the new beginning of life on earth. The believers descended from the ark. Noah, with eyes filled with tears, looked upon them. A new city was built in a green land, and life began anew. Now Noah sits with the children, telling them memories of the past, so they may learn from them. And finally, he stood upon a rock, facing the roaring sea where his ark lay. To the people and to history, he said, "This ark is a sign of God's mercy. Whoever believes in him shall never be alone in the storms." In the next video, we will tell the story of the attack of Abraham's great army on the house of God. To see the next videos and support us, subscribe and like the channel.